What you gonna do, you know what you know? Hey, see you know, hey, boo, you know. Your music a play, so what you gonna do, you know what you know? Hey, see you know, hey, boo, you know. I said the vibe sweeter than a sugar now. Hey, follow me now.
It's pretty good stuff, eh? Oh my goodness. Hi, it's now time for another episode of Red Stripe Bear Love. I'm your host, Garth, certified beer advisor for Red Stripe.
And I'm his co-host, Ashley, resident Bear Babe.
Glad to have you, Ashley. Now, today we're talking about quality. After the brewer has created his best beer, it's our job to treat the beer correctly so that its flavor is not lost.
And I think there are a few things as disappointing as flat or stale beer.
No, look here, I'm tired. Trust me, especially when you've been looking forward to that first sip of the day.
Trust, agreed. Beer is typically packaged in bottles, cans, or kegs to preserve the freshness, but storage can influence the flavor of beer, yes?
It actually does. Storage factors like time and temperature, exposure to light, and oxygen are critical. Now, whether you are in the business or you just want to always have a great experience, and I'm sure you always want that, there are a few things you should know.
Garth, but before we get into it, let's see how others currently maintain the quality of their beer.
My best experience having a beer under a tree, well tired, get a nice Red Stripe beer, whether it is lemon or sorrel. Experience, you can't beat that. Red Stripe, big up.
What I think affects beer quality is oxygen and temperature. I believe once beer is exposed to air, it does something to it. And as it relates to the temperature, I believe beer has a different taste at different temperatures. And with that being said, the best experience for me to have beer is to have it ice cold, just right out the freezer.
What I think affects beer quality the most is the temperature of the beer, as well as sometimes oxygen gets into the bottles when it's being manufactured, and that can also be a problem. But it's really the temperature that really affects it. The best experience with a beer is only when it's ice cold.
These beer love stories are brought to you by the Beer Love Academy.
Boy, I wanted to see what beer looked like when the quality was compromised, but Red Stripe never have none.
You're not gonna find that around here, so. We only have the best around here, Ash. Trust me. And the fresher the beer, the better the experience.
That is absolutely right. So let's start with temperature, which is very important to the taste and quality of your beer.
Of course. Now, we live in the tropics, but we have to remember that beer is best served well cold, right? And so it has to be stored at a temperature of 36 to 38 degrees Fahrenheit or lower to preserve the flavor.
Okay, that makes sense.
Now, beer doesn't go as bad as soon as it expires, but as it gets older, time will alter the flavor and the aroma as well because it continues to ferment.
Fun fact. This is called secondary fermentation and happens mostly in beers with a high percentage of alcohol, right? Eventually, your beer just gets another taste profile like wine.
That's right, but you know your thing, man.
I try.
And just like wine, light, whether it's UV or sunlight, can have an effect on the flavor of the beer.
Okay, they call that light struck or skunky. You know a little thing. We can avoid that by storing our beer bottles in a dark place, yes?
That's right. Yeah, man, but no, for real. As a beer bay, you're knowledgeable. Love that.
Studying.
And this is why bottles are usually packaged in crates or cardboard boxes,
Okay.
right? Just to make sure that no light filters through. And this is also why you usually have green or brown bottles
okay.
that are used to store the beer. Now, even artificial light, for example, from the cooler, right, can cause that light struck taste.
We now know it's important to package beer completely airtight.
Aye. Now, cans and steel kegs are airtight, but bottles that are closed with a crown, or caps as we call them, right, are not 100% airtight. So there's a small chance of oxygen actually creeping in, right, over time, and this will cause a little stale taste. And of course, for draft beer, like at the taps here, right, it's very important that all draft systems are maintained to the highest international industry standards to avoid bacteria.
Okay. In the same way, clean glassware is important when pouring the perfect glass of beer.
Now, if the glass is dirty, We're not like the dirty something, all right? The head or foam at the top of the glass collapses and it also impacts the taste of the beer. So look for that the next time somebody pour a beer for you when you're out, right?
Okay.
Now, for best results, try chilling the glass before pouring. Do you do that at home?
Yes, of course.
Okay, all right,
I
good.
put my glass in the fridge, make sure it's all frosty, nice and cool.
Aye. No, man, me need to come drink
Will
a
you really
beer.
tell me for
Me
that?
need to come drink a beer at your end.
People, you have to try it. It's the coolest, most crisp beer you'll ever have. But please do so responsibly. Now, talking about responsibilities, let me have a glass of water so I can stay hydrated.
Of course, I will pour that glass of water for you.
Thank you so much.
It's always best to space your drinks with water. As usual, we've got a giveaway for you. Answer the question correctly in the comments and we'll randomly select 2 winners. So hurry up and post the answer to this question. You ready?
Ready.
All right. What storage temperature is best to preserve the flavor of beer?
I know the answer, but I want you guys to put your answer in the comments and we'll see you when we see you next. And for the love of beer, drink and live responsibly. Must be 18 years or older. Garth?
Cheers.
Of course.
That's all about. Everybody feel the vibe. Everybody feel the vibe. Hey, see ya now. Hey, could ya know? The music a play, so what you gonna do? Watch ya now. Hey, see ya now. Hey, could ya know? I said the vibe sweeter than a sugar.
Everybody feel the vibe.